What's good, you guys, and welcome to another video on my channel, That Chashmish Guy. Today I've brought an amazing video for you guys. It's about 3 of my favorite fiction books that I have read a while ago but have stayed with me till now, and they're like the best fiction books I've read, and I've read a lot of fiction books when I was young. Now I don't read a lot of fiction books because I'm more into non-fiction books nowadays. I want to learn more about, self-development, personal growth, finance, investing money, and other non-fiction book categories. So that's why I'm reading mostly non-fiction nowadays, and it's been a while since I've read my last fiction book. But these 3 fiction books that I'm going to be telling you about right now, you have to read them. Like, when I say have, I really mean you have to read them. If you're a fiction book lover, then these 3 should be in your recommended, list of books you have to read in the future. Book number 1, this is gonna be Refugee. As you can see, its poster over here, its book title thingy over here. This book is about 3 families who are actually interconnected through generations, and they actually tell us about how these people were refugees and through the Nazi time and other more terrorism times, and how they escaped, and how they kept their families together. And it's a beautiful book. It's beautifully written. Once you start reading it, you get hooked. It goes on to us. The storytelling in this book is 100% top. It's an absolute masterpiece, and it's actually when I was reading this, I was so hooked onto it. My mother called me suddenly, and I was like, yeah, give me a minute. Like, how you get hooked to a Netflix show? I was hooked to this book. It was absolutely brilliantly written. The storytelling makes it in a form of a movie inside your head. So yeah, it's a must read for every single person who's out there searching for a fiction book which is a thrilling horror-ish type book. So yeah, must read, everyone. The second book would be this one, The Rooftoppers by Katherine Rundell, as you can see, it's poster over here. This book is again, these 3 books which I'm telling you is actually non-fiction fiction books. What do I mean by that? By that I mean that they teach you a beautiful lesson, a beautiful moral through a whole story of events. So this one teaches you a beautiful story of how pursuing your dreams and never, it's a beautiful story about pursuing your dreams and never ignoring a possible. And you'll read it once you know. So it's about this, basically a little girl who is under a guardian right now, and who was told that she was separated from her mother and her mother died. But she inside her heart feels that her mother didn't die, and everyone tells her that it's impossible that you'll find your mother, but she goes on and achieves her dream of finding her mother. And it's a beautiful story, man. It's a beautiful story. Must read for every single person out there. So I was actually saving the best book for the last, because this book completely changed my perspective towards life, towards wisdom, towards moral education and moral values, because this book is such a beautifully written book by Paulo Coelho, the Alchemist, as you can see over here. So what it does is that this book, through a beautiful story of only, I think, 200 pages, completely changes your perspective towards life and towards mostly like life, wisdom, etc. So that's why, as I said in the start, that this is a non-fiction fiction book. What do I mean by that? It's a fiction book. It's a story, but through a story, it teaches you a beautiful lesson, a beautiful value, which will stay with you forever. Even my dad, one thing, my dad never reads books, but he read this particular book in about 2 days, and then he just came to me. He's like, Aaqib, you have to read this book. And when I mean you have to read it. I took his advice. I read this book. Even I read it in a matter of 2 to 3 days, and I was so hooked onto it that some people get hooked onto Netflix shows. I was hooked onto this particular book right here. It's a brilliant book. Trust me, you have to read it, and it'll teach you a beautiful lesson. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this particular video. If you like reading books, then comment down below which book I should read for my next fiction/non-fiction books. And I also made a similar video about this about my favorite non-fiction books. That's going to be linked in the description box down below. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and also follow me on TikTok. I just started my account, and I post daily reels and daily TikToks and daily YouTube Shorts videos every single day on these 3 platforms. So yeah, peace out. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.